Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Chemical Compass. This is our first lesson and we are starting with one of the most important tool in all of the chemistry, the periodic table. Whether you are a student or just curious about the elements that make up our universe, you are in the right place. Moving to the next point, what is the periodic table? The periodic table, also known as the periodic table of elements, is one of most a colorful chart that you see in your classroom. Actually, it's a map of the building blocks of matter. It organizes all non-chemical elements into horizontal rows called periods and vertical columns called groups. But what makes it so powerful is something called the periodic law. When we arrange elements by increasing atomic number, what is the atomic number? That's the number of protons in an atom. Yes, and we notice a repeating pattern in their properties. How? When we arrange elements by increasing atomic number, we notice a repeating pattern in their properties. That's why elements in the same group, like those in same column, tend to behave in similar ways. And if you look closely, the table is divided into 4 main sections called blocks. These blocks tells us about the element's electronic configuration, or in simple terms, how electrons are arranged around the nucleus. Our next point is, what is the history of the periodic table? Now, how did this masterpiece come to be? Let's take a quick look at the history. First, there were early scientists like Antoni Lavoisier who began classifying the non-elements. It was a good start, but things really changed in 1869. That's when Dmitry Mendeleev, a Russian chemist, created the first real version of the periodic table. He organized elements by atomic mass and left gaps for elements that hadn't even been discovered yet, and many of his predictions turned around to be right. Later, Henry Moseley improved the table by arranging elements by atomic number instead of masses. That small change made a huge difference. It fixed many inconsistencies and gave us the modern periodic table we use today. Now, structure of the periodic table. Let's break down how the periodic table is structured. There are 7 horizontal rows called periods. As you move from left to right across a period, each element gains 1 more electron and 1 more proton. Then there are 18 vertical columns called groups, or sometimes families. Elements in the same group have similar chemical properties. For example, they often react in the same way with other substances. So if you understand one element in a group, you can often predict how others will behave too. And our next point is key groups in the periodic table. Now let's look at some of the most important groups you will come across. Group 1 is alkali metals. These are soft, shiny metals like sodium and potassium. They are extremely reactive, especially with water. Group 2 is alkaline earth metals. These are slightly less reactive but still very active. These include magnesium and calcium. Group 17 are also known as halogens. These are reactive non-metals like chlorine and fluorine. They love to form salts when they react with metals. Group 18 are noble gases. These are your chill elements like helium and neon. They rarely react with anything because they already have full electron shells. Understanding these groups will help you predict how elements behave in real-world reactions. Thank you so much for watching this first lesson on the periodic table. I hope it gave you a clear and simple understanding of what the table is and why it's so important. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, subscribe and hit the bell icon so you won't miss the next lesson, where we will go even deeper into the structure and trends of the periodic table. This is just the beginning of our journey with Chemical Compass, helping you navigate chemistry one lesson at a time. See you in the next video.